1979. Starting a detective agency with my mum was a bad idea. Now she's lying on her deathbed. My Austin Mini is a creaky, leaky piece of British Leyland shite, so I may never get to hear her last words. Is that you, Jasper Lamar Crab? It is your favourite son, Mother. From the moment I expelled you from my pum-pum, it was like the second coming, but relocated to a new location called Peckham, Jasper. But what of my paternity, Mother? Who is my father? Your puppa's more like a mythic creature, Jasper. A Loch Ness monster who is now in heaven groping the angels, the ones with the big titties. And what of my brother, inbred Jed? I only had your brother to get a council flat. I knew it. I drive around some dancing grannies. Brits get drunk by proxy. The Union Jacks, the funny little hats, the hangovers were all ordered in advance. I've become an adult in the wrong decade. You see, we've elected our first female Prime Minister. In the 60s they had the Beatles, James Bond, Motown, the World Cup, Thunderbirds, Muhammad Ali, Carnaby Street et al. Now our Prime Minister's got a fanny. So what? My whole life was defined by the lack of cocks. Endless women waffling on about their blokes, the way Red Indians used to waffle on about their happy hunting grounds. They're not there. Get over it. A female Prime Minister confirms what I've always suspected. The fanny came first. Anyway, all I wanted was a case, but not catching my mum's murderer. Jasper? I'm still here, Mother. I have a deathbed confession to make, Jasper. Hang on, I'll need to get my new, perforated, paginated, paged filofax. I have committed a lifelong deception on you, Jasper. Was it your cooking? Was it landfill? I'm not your actual biological mother, Jasper. Why the secrecy? It was a matter of national security. Whose, Jamaica or England's? I'll mop her brow as she contemplates the political ramifications to come. Your actual biological mother is... Wait for it. It is Rosa Parks, Jasper. No. Yes. You know, she always looked kind of randy to me. Just who was she poking at the back of that bus? Don't you dare talk about a national treasure like that. The American model of oppression is so much sexier than the British one. They were kidnapped from their African paradise. By contrast, we bought tickets so we could live in their approximation. They have Malcolm X, we have Michael X. They have Louis Armstrong and Ella Fitzgerald, we have Kenny Lynch and Patti Boulay. They have Toni Morrison, we have Lenny Henry. But Mum, if my actual biological mother is Rosa Parks, who is my actual biological father? Both hospitals appear on the nipples of Camberwell Hill. Left nipple, the Maudsley, right, King's College. Your actual biological father is... Wait for it, Jasper. Is Dr. Martin Luther King. No. Yes. You see, Jasper, you're no ordinary black. You're a super black. So I'm not indeterminate protoplasm after all, Mother. I am the result of intercosmic sparkling sperm. At last, my passport to Pimlico. I am born of iconic genitals on an iconic bus. I could become a consultant on expenses at the UN, or an agony uncle on the Esther Ranson show. What then of my brother, inbred Jed, Mother? I bet his origins were sordid and squalid. Yes, Jasper, he was the result of doggy sex. Is that why he walks so funny? You notice, the whole world knows my shame. I'm a Christian woman. I should never have enjoyed it so much. Elvis Presley had a twin. Aaron died as Gladys was giving birth to Mr. Rock and Roll himself, in the satanic privacy of the womb, not yet subject to the rule of law. Elvis wrapped his umbilical cord around Aaron's neck until his eyes popped. Elvis wanted his mother to himself. Gladys would take Elvis down to the graveyard. She'd point to a star above the gravestones and tell Elvis Aaron's soul was within him. The early rock and roll audiences got 2 for the price of 1. Elvis was punished. His mother died prematurely. Elvis lingered for a little while, gorging himself to death on breast-shaped burgers. Mother, I missed your last words. You want me to repeat my last words, Jasper? If you don't mind, for your convenience, thank you. Come closer. Listen, Jasper. You must return to Jesus. Why, Mother? Why? Because Jesus loves you. Everyone else thinks you're a... Just one more thing, Mother, before you kick the bucket. What's that, Jasper, my favourite son? How comes I'm white? I grab my grapes of wrath from the passenger seat and exit my Mini Cooper. I've got stereo written in large letters on the boot so everyone will know. I collect my grapes of wrath from the ground and get back in the Mini. There are 3 old-school skinheads blocking the entrance to A&E. They glorify in their injuries and their ugliness. They have mini Union Jacks tattooed just above the shirt collars of their Ben Shermans. Some hapless brother must have crossed their path tonight, but it looks like he gave a good account of themselves. They've clocked the flag on my car roof and they're coming over. Stick your flag up in your own country. I try to fly casual, but British Leyland me again and I stall. There ain't much air around there, is there, mate? Do you know why? I've heard this one before. They thumped the roof, but I managed to park around the front. I stumble up the hospital steps on my stacked heel shoes. I once asked my mother, who exactly are and how comes they've breathed up all the air? She was fatalistic. Everything good belongs to them, everything bad belongs to us. I run through a gaggle of smoking nurses. I hope they're checking out my hammer. I haven't been to King's College for yonks, but hospitals are second nature to me. I was born in one. Actually, I was born in this one. The midwife slapped my hammer so hard I cried out in pain, then she threw me at my mum's tits. Neither were convicted, but they were both in it together. The lift's taking too long. I leg it to the 4th. Jasper. I turn to find the saintly nurse Alison checking her upside-down watch pinned to her saintly chest. What took you so long, Jasper? The streets are chocker, Alison. Even in her municipal shoes, Alison's got great legs. They're not as good as Sadie's, but better than Wilma's. But then again, Wilma's had a baby. And then, that's when he started to pistol whip her. I was thinking about sex and not listening. Pistol whip who, Alison? Your mother, Miranda, Jasper. Who'd do such a thing to my mother, Alison? I was being polite. The suspects are legion. First I'd start with Mother Teresa. Then I'd find out where the Archbishop of Canterbury was. Mum can start a fight in an empty room. She's hanging on by a thread in a little private room, Jasper. Alison starts to well up. I comfort her. This is an ideal opportunity to get a full impression of her breasts. Chest to chest is always best. They're everything a hetero could hope for. What gays demand in these things, I have no idea. Alison breaks away. I need to get back to the maternity ward, Jasper. It's a busy night. We've had an immaculate conception. You're joking, Alison. No, the vicar's wife. But he had a secret vasectomy 2 years ago. Go see your mother. Go see Miranda, Jasper.